So let's start our today's Abhidhamma study. Paying homage to the Buddha, reciting Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Good morning, everybody, and let's start our Abhidhamma study for lesson 33. We are studying chapter 4 of Abhidhammata Sangaha. And we teach Sangaha and cognitive process. So today we are going to study the mind door process. In the last lesson, we have studied the fight door process. And today we study about the mind door process, how the mentality, the process of mentality arises through the mind door. Okay. So as we have studied in the fight door process, in order to arise the process of mentality, there are specific conditions, the objects and base, then the other condition of light, space, etc. And the most important condition of the attention. So with the complete of these conditions, our mental process arises. So here, as we have studied in the fight door process, for the mind door process also, the objects are the condition. So let's study about the object, the condition of the objects. Then there are 6 presentation of the object. 6 presentation of the object in the Abhidhammata Sangaha. The 4 are related to the fight door process. You may remember that the Ati Mahanda, a very great object, Mahanda, great object, and Preta, slight object, and Ati Preta, very slight object. So these 4 are regarded as the object of the fight door process. Here, for the mind door process, the remaining 2 presentation of object, the Vibuddha, Aramana, the clear object, and Avibuddha, Aramana, obscure object, not clear. So clear and not clear. And for the cause, there in the fight door process, for the Ati Mahanda, the cause ending with the Tadaramana. And for the Mahanda, the great object, the cause is ending with the Javana. For the slight object, Preta, the cause is ending with the Utthapana, so the determining mind movement. And for the very slight object, Adiprita Aramana, the cause is just the vibration, not any types of the active mind movements. In the same way, here, for the Vibuddha Aramana, for the clear object, the cause is ending with the registration. That's why it is called the Tararamana Vara. And For the Avibuddha Aramana, the Oscar object is coming into the mind as a condition. At the moment, the process ends with Javana, no Tararamana. That is why that is called the Javana Vara. So this is the difference between two causes of mental process through the mind. So some process end with the registration. The object is regarded as the Vibuddha Aramana because the object is clear. The object is clear. This support to the mental process to arise up to the registration. And if the object condition to the mental process supporting to the moment of the Javana, not giving rise to the Aramana, this is called the Avibuddha Aramana. So this is the classification as mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangaha. Because we need to focus the explanation of the Abhidhamma Sangaha as the main text is Abhidhamma Sangaha, we have to understand what is mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangaha first. And okay, in this case, let's see about the past Bhavanga. So we classify many types of, after these 75 types, many types of mental process based on the occurrence of the past Bhavanga. So mainly based on the occurrence of the past Bhavanga, how many moments of past Bhavanga arise, make the difference of the mental process in the Paidop process. And here, what about the past Bhavanga in the Mind-Dop process? So in the past Paidop process, you may remember in each door, the objects are the respective present materiality for the Indo visible form, which is one of the materiality. And also that must be, the materiality, the object of materiality must be present to be seen, to be taken by the eye sensitivity or unconsciousness. So the object of the Paidop process are the present materialities that have the 17 mind movement as their lifespan. So we need to count to make sure their duration, the duration of the object do be 17 mind movements. But in the Mind-Dop process, the object is not only the present materiality, it can be the past materiality, etc. The future mentalities or materiality, or sometimes the panyati, etc. So as we have mentioned in the Paidop process about the past Bhavanga, Atita Bhavanga. The Atita Bhavanga is a type of Bhavanga which is passed through. So passed through means the after arising of, after encountering of the object and sensitivity. When they arise together at the same moment, and then they come into the venue of the process. Then, due to the touching of these two materiality, the mental process arise. But as soon as they arise, the object is still weak. So the mind moment just arises, but it cannot be directly the active moment. So the three moments of Bhavanga passed after the arising of the object. So object is the materiality, the sensitivity which take the object, also materiality. So when they arise together at the same moment, at that time they can get. So they can the sensitivity it capture because it is the clear, it has the clarity. So it take the object. Then after the sometimes of the Bhavanga passed, then the active process starts, starting from the 5-drop advertence. So before 5-drop advertence, some moment of Bhavanga passed. These are called the past Bhavanga. And the last two of the Bhavanga moment, which is called the vibrational Bhavanga and arrest Bhavanga. The former Bhavanga are regarded as the past Bhavanga. So if you study again, if you review the 5-drop process, lesson 32, you will see the PPP, the moment of the past Bhavanga. And why they arise is due to the object is weak to give rise the active moment. So entering the avenue of the things, the object start to change the process of mentality. That is why no more ordinary Bhavanga is start the past Bhavanga, vibrational Bhavanga, arrest Bhavanga, etc. And then the mind of 5-drop advertence start. So here, what about the mind of process? When the present materiality that have the lifespan for the 17 mind moments, the mental process consists of the past Bhavanga. The other project at the time of the other objects, so past or future, they are not existing. The objects are not existing in for the 17 mind moment. That's why the past Bhavanga is not necessary. So we have said the only when the present concrete matter, Nibbana Rupa, there are 18 materiality. 18 materiality. Nibbana Rupa are one of the Nibbana Rupa, 18 concrete matters is an object. At that moment, the past Bhavanga is necessary to count their lifespan, when it starts and when it ends. So for the other objects, appearance of the other object, the past Bhavanga moment is not necessary. We don't need to put it in the process when we count. So this is about the past Bhavanga in the mind of process. So only when the present concrete matter is an object, the past Bhavanga is needed. Okay, so this is what is explained in the Abhidhamma Sangha text itself. But studying the other sources, our scholar Venerable Ledi Sayadaw explained the fourfold presentation of the objects in the mind door. But just we study about the Abhidhamma Sangha. According to the Abhidhamma Sangha text, it is only two types of presentation of object. And presentation of object, Vibhuta Aramana, clear object, and Avibhuta Aramana, obscure object. But for the according to the Larry Seattle. So Larry Seattle take the similar method with the 5-drop process. So there, in the 5-drop process, there are 4 types of objects: Ati Mahanda, Mahanda, Parita, Adiprita in the 5-drop process. Here in the 9-drop process, the Venerable Larry Seattle say the Ati Vibhuta. So the Vibhuta become the 2 types. So ordinary clear object is called the Vibhuta Aramana. So Ati Vibhuta Aramana, very clear. So some objects is not enough to express by the word clear. It's very clear. So that is called the very clear object. And some objects are clear. So this is Vibhuta, second type. And some objects are not clear, so obscure. And some objects are very obscure. So very difficult to see or to understand or like this. That is Ati Vibhuta. In this way, the Venerable Larry Seattle divided the types of the classification of the object into 4 ways. So if the object is 4 types, the cause of mental process also must be 4 types. So here, the Ati Vibhuta Aramana ending with the registration. So the Aramana Vara, this is same as the 5-drop process classification. So in the Abhidhamma Sangha test itself says for the Vibhuta Aramana is only related to the Dhararamana, the cause ending with the Dhararamana. And for the cause ending with the Javana, it is called the obscure object. It is the Abhidhamma Sangha text. But, as I have mentioned in the previous lesson, for the Dhararamana, in order to arise the moment of Dhararamana, there are some rules. There must be, the being must be sensual beings. The Javana must be sensual. One of the essential Javana. The object must be sensual object. So these are the rules to arise of the registration. By the absence of any condition, the Dhararamana, the registration cannot arise. So in the process of the Brahma in the 5 material sphere world, because they are not the sensual beings, there cannot be the process ending with registration. So according to the Abhidhamma Sangha text, the mental process due to the mental process of the Brahma are always end with the Javana. Their object must be always obscure. This is according to the Abhidhamma Sangha text. So for the Venerable Larry Seattle, the object of the mental process in the Brahma of the 5 material sphere, that can be the clear object, but not very clear object, because the Dhararamana cannot arise in their mind. The qualification of the object depends on the mental process arise. We can identify what types of mental process arise, and then we can identify what types of the object, because the object is not easy to identify itself. So that is why the Venerable Larry Seattle expand the object can be 4 types in the mind door also, because the process of the Brahma can take the clear object, not always obscure, because the Javana ending, the process ending with the Javana will arise in the Brahma's mind door process. So he explained the similar classification with the 5 door instead of following the Abhidhamma Sangha text. So here, the Adivibuddha, the Dhararamana Vara, and Vibhuddha, Javana Vara, ending with Javana. Avibuddha, so Uttapana Vara, and Avibuddha is Mogha Vara, just the vibration of the Bhavanga for 2 times or 3 times. No more, no active movement. This is the how Venerable Ledi Sayadaw explained for the 4-fold presentation of object in the mind door. If we study and if we focus on the explanation of the Abhidhamma Sangha text, we don't need to consider about this explanation, but we just need to understand 2 types of Vibhuddha and Avibuddha Aramana. Aramana, the objects are for the mind doors. And only 2 courses of Dhararamana and Dhararamana Vara and Javana Vara arise in the mind door. But many of our Abhidhamma scholars recommend this classification. This is also possible because sometimes the Avibuddha Aramanas, in the mind, only the Vattabana. This Vattabana means the one Vattabana is taking the function which the mind dot abundant consciousness perform in the pi dot process. That is what Vattabana. But here in the mind dot process, it is original name. This is the mind dot advertence, Manodhara Vachana. So after the arrest Bhavanga, if the object is obscure, the mind dot advertence arise 2 or 3 times. Then the Bhavanga again, no Javana. That course of mental process is called the Vattabana Vara. And it is not enough time to arise because the object is very obscure. And just the vibration of Bhavanga arise. That is called the Mogha Vara, no active process. And here, the clarity of the presentation, how we can identify, is either the prominence of the object and the strength of the consciousness. So if we want to identify from the side from the object side, the prominence of the object. Sometimes if the object is very prominent, so it forces the mental process to become stronger, to last longer. And if the mind is very strong, so very strong, at the time, even the small of not very clear, originally not very clear, but because the mind is very strong, it can be the object of the Dhararamana Vara or Javana Vara become the clear. So for those who have the Dipa Chakku Abhinya, so direct knowledge of the divine eyes. So because the power of the consciousness, the strength of the consciousness, they can see very small object. From the ordinary point of view, that the object is not clear, but for them, by the power of the strong consciousness, it becomes clear for them. So that is why we can identify the clarity of the presentation, clarity of the objects, in two ways. So sometimes the object itself is very prominent, and sometimes, if not so prominent, but the consciousness is very, very strong. In this way, they become the clear object. And in the contrary, even if the object is very clear, the consciousness is very weak. So it can be the obscure object. So this is how the Venerable Ledi Sayadaw explained the fourfold presentation and how we can identify the clarity of the object. Okay, so let's see what types of object can be the object of mind drop process. So sometimes the past mentality and materiality can be the object of mind drop process. This is the moment when you thinking about the past events. So the mentality or materiality really happened in the past. And they can be the object of the mental process, mind drop process. And sometimes thinking about the present of the focusing on the present moment. So still the object of mentality and materiality is in their present phases, present moment. So they can be the object. This moment is clear. If the consequent process of the fight door, we already introduced the consequent process of the fight door. At that time, the present materiality, the object of materiality is still present. So the mind door process arises, taking that object, that present object. So that is the present mentality and materiality can be the objects of mind door process. Again, the future mentality and materiality. And so some can see by the power of the direct knowledge, the future mentality and materiality. Then concept is timeless, so we cannot see the past, present, or future. So many times your mind or our mental process take the concept as it is object. So if something is not reality, that is concept. And Nibbana. So Nibbana is one of the four ultimate reality. Nibbana also timeless. It can be the object of mind drop process of Megapala and just before the Mega, the moment of Kudarapu. At the time also the Nibbana can be the object of mind drop process. Okay, this is the 5 types of objects for the mind drop process. Then let's see the ways of presentation, how they present in the mind drop process. So sometimes they appear through direct perceive. So earlier in the formal times in the past, you already perceive directly yourself. In that way also, that becomes, so the past mentality and materiality can be the object of mental process because they were directly perceived in the past. And then the inference from what was directly perceived. Sometimes due to what one perceived in the past, then later the expansion in the mind based on what he was perceived, what he was see, or what he was understood. Based on that, the inference come into the us being the object of mental process. That is the by way of inference from what was directly perceived. Then another two is the oral report, by an oral report. So if you learn the oral report, someone is talking and you hear, and directly you hear what you hear again later, you can that hearing or about something in that report can be the object of your mind of process, the mind of process. And sometimes based on that oral report, many expansion, the opinion of consideration or feeling like this. So that inference can be come from the oral report. In that way, also the object can be presented to your mind. Then, sometimes on account of belief. So based on the belief, the object come out. The object becomes the object, the past, present, or sometimes the concept like this. Opinion or reasoning, thinking about the reasoning, what should be you like this. Reflected acceptance of a view. In this way, the object can be presented into your mind door process, not fight door process. Then, so by the power of karma, some object arise due to the karma. Some psychic powers are disruption of the bodily humor, the influence of the deities. So here, the Deva can show some, can give some object, can present to the mind door, and comprehension and realization, etc. So maybe the others, many reasons, and many way of presentation. But if we conclude all the types of the object into the similar way, we get the 5 types. So some related to the past, but that must be mentality or materiality, the future, present, and sometimes they are not reality of mentality and materiality, they are concept, and sometimes the nibbana. So the reasoning or belief, the nibbana, what is nibbana, or like this, thinking about that. So this is the objects of mind or process and the way of presentation, how the object come into the mental process. Then here, the Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi explained the 6 way of process, 4 process related to the presentation of the object. So this is very similar to the classification of the presentation. So directly perceived or inference from what was directly perceived. So some process based on the directly perceived, what you perceive in the past, and just repetition of the seeing or hearing or something, they directly you understand. Then sometimes the expansion based on that perceiving and the other in relation to that perceiving become the object. And sometimes the oral report, and sometimes inference of from the oral reports. And sometimes the cognized, based on the cognized and inference from cognized. Here, what is cognized? So the other way of presentation are related to the cognized of belief, opinion, comprehension, etc. And the inference, so the judgment come out from the belief judgment come out from the opinion of the comprehension, etc. They are called the inference from the cognized. So this is the six types of process, sixfold process from the according to the way of presentation, But these are not mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangha text itself. So usually we don't study in the basics level, we study in the advanced level. But now, because the Bhikkhu Bodhi also explained in his comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma, that's why I want to introduce this sixfold process related to the way of presentation. But the main cause you must clearly understand in the related to the mind drop process is a twofold presentation, Vibhuta and Avibhuta. According to the Abhidhamma Sangha, for the Vibhuta, the clear object, the cause of the mind drop process must be end with the Tadaramna Vara, and Avibhuta, the Javana Vara. This is the explanation of Abhidhamma Sangha. It is very important. Okay, so let's review the two types of mind drop process. Again, so one is Misika Vara. We have studied this in the former lesson. So Misika Vara, the object or that process emerged through the physical symptoms and Bhavanga. So physical symptom, not only physical symptom, and it continued to the mind door, which is called the Bhavanga. Mind door and Bhavanga are the same. So it starts from the physical symptom, but it does not stop. It continues to the another process of the mind door. That is why they are misdop, regarded as the misdop process. So Misika Dwara Viti. Then, so how they are present, and again see the five drop process. So when we see something, we just see that the five drop process. At the moment of five drop process, we can say that we see, because iron drop process, at the moment of iron drop process, we can say we see. At the moment of ear drop process, we can say we hear, like this. So the seeing or hearing moments, hearing process cannot be completed only with any of five drop process. So after the end of the any of five drop process, so past things, because the present moment, present materiality less long, 17 mind moment. That is why after the five drop process, it becomes the past. It becomes the past. Past sense object come into the range of the mind door. So we already counted the lifespan of the object, and also lifespan of the sensitivity, which is the base or the door. These two materiality have the lifespan of 17 mind moments. That is why they arise together and they cease like this. And sometimes they arise at different moment, and then they see the different moment. So here, and we are counting the lifespan with the five drop process and with the five drop process. So when the present come into the mind door, which is called the Bhavanga, it becomes the past. So past sense object come into the range of the mind door. Then the sequence of the mind door process starts. That is called the Misika Dwara Viti. So they are called the five door process, followed by the consequent processes. So we already discussed the 7 types of the consequent processes, but not all were run in every moment. Sometimes the 6 or 5 like this. And Another type is Suddhamanohara Viti, the bare mind door process. So this is not related to any physical door. They just emerge from the Bhavanga, which is called the mind door, without admission of the sense door. So just appear through the mind door, Bhavanga. This is Suddhamanohara Viti. We will focus in this lesson. We will focus on the second types of Suddhamanohara Viti, which emerge from the mind door alone. Then, so that Suddhamanohara Viti can also, there are the process, the mixture process, or both the mind door process can be divided into two based on the Javana. So based on the Aramana, we already identified the Tararamana and Javana. Based on the Javana, we can have another classification for limited Javana Viti. So the process of sense pure Javana. And another one is the Apana Javana Viti, the process of sublime Javana. So depends on the types of the Javana, the mind door process can be identified, can be classified in this way. So here, the limited Javana Viti related to all the variance process. So it means it can be the Meskawara of the consequent process also possible for the limited Javana Viti, limited Javana, the process of sense pure Javana. But for the Apana Javana, only the clear object. So we have said the clear or obscure like this, clear, obscure, very obscure. So here the Apana Javana Viti, the clear object, only the case of clear object. No, if the object is not clear, the Apana Javana cannot arise. And so bare mind door process not related to the mixture process for the Apana Javana Viti. This is the classification based on the Javana. So it will be a little bit complicated if we just classify different types without seeing the process. Okay, so this is the mixture process. After any of the 5 door process ends, then these types of consequent process follow. So with the 5 door process, they are called the mixture process because the object is present and through the 5 doors and come into the mind door. That's why mixture door process. So here, for this slide, the information we already studied, these all are mind door process. 1 to 7, these are mind door process, but they cannot arise only through the mind door. They arise based on any of the 5 door presentation. So 5 door, the object presented through the 5 door. That is why they are called the consequent process. But if we count the mind movement and identify what types of mind movement consist of, they same as the mind door process. So we will see the mind door process, how they arise. And here the limited Javana Viti. So the clear object is present to the mind door. Mind door refers to the Bhavanga. So at that time, the continuum of Bhavanga becomes the past. Regarding the past Bhavanga, so here, because we add the past Bhavanga, let's see, the object is one of the 18 concrete materialities, which lasts long the 17 mind movements. So here, the past Bhavanga and vibrational Bhavanga, arrest Bhavanga, same as so this, the rising pace of the past Bhavanga, this is the starting point of the object. So the objects start to arise here from the arising phase of the past bhavanga. Then it continues. So the mind moment also related to that object. So past bhavanga, vibrational bhavanga, arrest bhavanga. After that, only the mind door advertent. This is called the mind door advertent. So you may remember in the 5-door process, that is 5-door advertent, not mind door advertent. That is 5-door advertent. Here, mind door advertent. So then it does not need to receive or investigate or determine. So directly presented to the jhana. So this is the difference between mind door process and 5-door process. So for the 5-door process, before the jhana moment arises, the other process arises. So after the 5-door adverting, receiving, investigating, and determining like this. So here in the mind door process, these functions are not necessary, not need. So they are only for the function related to the 5 doors. So here, after the mind door advertent arises and passed away, and just after that, the jhana moments start to arise. So 7 times, ordinary time, sometimes it can be 6 times also possible. So here we usually use for the 7 times for the maximum moment. Then 7 times of bhavanga arise. Then 2 registration. So according to the longest process, so registration, the past bhavanga and registration. Okay, this is the clear object according to the Abhidhamma Sangaha. So if the object is one of the physical, one of the concrete materiality, which lasts for 17 mind moments, so past bhavanga, starting from past bhavangas. If the object is the other object, so not present concrete materiality, so maybe past concrete materiality of any of the past materiality and mentality, or future, or the present mentality, etc. So the past bhavanga is not necessary. So the process will start from the vibrational bhavanga, arrest bhavanga, and mind door advertent, and 7 times of bhavanga, and 7 times of jhana. Then there's sometimes registration if the object is sensual object, if the being is sensual being, if the jhana is sensual jhana, so the registration will arise. If any of these conditions absent, for example, this process arises in the Brahma's mind, the registration moment also will absent. So the vibrational bhavanga, arrest bhavanga, mind door, and jhana, after that, the bhavanga process will come. In this way, the mind door process can be different due to the condition. So if the condition, the moment will arise. If there's no condition, the moment will be absent. So we need to know what are the necessity for the past bhavanga and what are the necessity condition for the registration. If they are present and the mind moment need to include. If the conditions are absent, the mind moment will be absent, and we need to take out. So this is the how the mind door process arises, as mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangaha text. So here there are 51 types of sense sphere consciousness. So we can count as 51. What are the 51? So we have to start from the mind door advertent, because These are similar to the Bhavanga. So because they are Bhavanga itself. So from the mind dot advertent, one types of mind dot advertent, okay, one. Then for the Javana, any of the 29 sense sphere, because we see the limited Javana, sense sphere Javana. So any of the 29 sense sphere Javana can take place for the Javana movements. So altogether 30. Then 11 registration. So 41. So the 41 types of sense sphere consciousness, all included, all are the sense sphere consciousness. So for the limited Javana, occurred in the mind dot process. So here the Bhavanga is very clear. So only any of the 51 types can arise in the mental process of the limited Javana. Then if we counted for the state, the 10 states of consciousness, so mind dot advertent 1, and 7 times altogether 8, and the registration, so 2 times of registration become the 10 state of consciousness. So if we counted how many moods, the only 3 moods, one mood mind dot advertent, and second mood is Javana, and the last one, Dhararamana, registration. So in 3 moods. This is how the mind dot process of limited Javana arise. So 41 types of consciousness in 10 state, 3 moods. Okay, now we already started, we understand they are clear. For the clear object, the process arise taking the clear object. This is according to the Abhidhamma Sangaha. So the classification, based on the classification of Larry Siarov in 4-fold presentation, that will be different. And the occurrence of registration, okay, see here, because this is the at most states, we counted for 10 states, this is at most. Although the Abhidhamma Sangaha identifying the clear object and the Dhararamana Vara, the process ending with the registration. This refers to the maximum states of mind movement. Here, the Abhidhamma scholar always point out that for being in the sense sphere plane of existence, this type of Dhararamana Vara is suitable. But for the beings in the fine material and immaterial plane of existence, they in their mind, mental process, the mind of process is arising, but Dhararamana is not, cannot arise because they are not the sensual beings. So being absent the condition of the sensual beings, so the Dhararamana cannot arise. That is why the moment will start from the past Bhavanga and end with the Javana. So no registration. Even when the object is exceptionally clear, so ati vibhuta object, very clear. It means when the Brahma, fine materials, pure Brahma, they see the Buddha. So if they visited to when they visited to the Buddha, they see the Buddha's appearance, Buddha's body. So which is the very clear, exceptionally itaramana, or very clear. At that moment, even at that moment of the object present, the object of the exceptionally clear, the registration cannot arise. That is why the Abhidhamma Sangaha, the explanation of Abhidhamma Sangaha refers to the being in the sense pure plane of existence. And for the fine material sphere and immaterial sphere plane of existence, the beings the process in these beings, the registration will be absent. Okay, this is how we understand about the mental process of the clear object. Then this can be 7 types, different into 7 types. So because sometimes this process can take the object of the present materiality, which lasts long the 17 mind movements. So for the 17 mind movement, here 7 jhana and altogether the 10 types. So starting from the first bhavanga, 13, and then so the process, the lifespan of object, which is the concrete materiality, will continue. So up to the 4th bhavanga. In this way, the two times of past bhavanga, 3 times of past bhavanga. In this way, we can expand, as mentioned in the mind draw process. So the extension of the past bhavanga and counting the moment up to the 17. This becomes the seven types of the mind draw process related to the clear object in mind draws. Then let's see about the obscure object. So taking the obscure object, as mentioned in the Abhidhamma Sangaha, the 2 moments of registration will not, cannot arise with the obscure object. This is what the Abhidhamma Sangaha explained. So the process will arise in this way. Then after jhana, the bhavanga movement will arise and continue the bhavanga until another active movement arises. So this is how the mental process arrives through the mind draw, which is called the bhavanga. Bhavanga alone, not related to any physical draw. So in the taking the 2 types of clear object and obscure object. Then, so here in this process, you see the jhana consists of the wholesome and unwholesome. So jhana, wholesome and unwholesome, no resultant, wholesome, unwholesome, sometimes the functional. So wholesome, unwholesome, and functional. The other moment, so past bhavanga, etc., the bhavanga are resultant moment. Here, the mind, starting from the mind dot avadin. This is mind dot avadin is the functional moments. You see the functional moment and the registration moment. This is the resultants. So we can classify into 2 types, jhana and the other types. Jhana and other moment of the registration is the resultants. So for the registration, the resultant moment, as this explanation related to the both pi draw process and mind draw process. So resultant moment of 5% consciousness. 5% consciousness. So this is the Vipanja Vijnana, and receiving, investigating, and registration. Here in this case, only the registration is related, but I want to repeat it to make sure you understand properly in the process. So the moment of resultants are governed by the object. Governed by the object mean the types of object and resultant moments are already fixed. So let's see the types of the object. Anicca, undesirable, eta, moderately desirable, is ordinary desirable. And adhyata, so adhyata, extremely desirable. For the anicca aramana, this one we already discussed once. Then for the Anita Aramana, undesirable object, the resultant object is already fixed because the unwholesome resultant, this must be unwholesome resultant. If the Aramana is undesirable, the object is undesirable, we can identify the moment of 5-4 sense consciousness that unwholesome, because they are in two types. One is unwholesome resultant and the other is wholesome resultant. But in case of undesirable object is present, there must be unwholesome resultant or Dvibhanja Vinyana or receiving or investigating or registration. But when the ita moderately desirable object is present in any mental process of fight door or mind door, so the resultant moment identifying the wholesome resultant. So due to the types of the objects, the types of the consciousness is identified. Because the resultant moment are governed by the object. Then for the Atiyata Aramana, extremely desirable object. So seeing the Buddha or sometimes seeing the beautiful girl or beautiful man, wines, etc. This is very beautiful. So that is Atiyata, extremely desirable. At that moment, even the feeling is identifying the Somanasa Sahagata, Vipaka. Somanasa Sahagata, Kusala Vipaka. It means not only the Kusala Vipaka here, because it is very extremely desirable object. The feeling also identify, accompanying feeling also identifying as joy. So here, they're related to the investigating and registration, because only this moment, the joyful feeling can be possible. The other 5-4 sense consciousness, there is no joyful feeling originally. And receiving only 2 types, both are the accompanied by equanimity. And in case of investigating and registration, it can be possible for the joyful feeling. That is why this is related to the investigating and registration. This is how the resultant moment are governed by the objects. But the Javana moment, in the Javana moment, the consciousness are not governed by the object. They are not governed by the object. They are different. They can be buried in accordance with the temperament of the person or the proclivity of the experiencer. So experiencer means the individual which belong to the mental process. That the Javana can be wholesome or unwholesome or functional according to these 2 reasons, not because of the object. This is the difference between the 2 types of mind movements. And the resultant moment is governed by the object, and the Javana moment is not governed by the object. And that based on another reason. And let's see more about the Javana moment, which is not governed by the object. So here, in the individual with the perversion of the perception, here, the perversion of the perception. The perversion of the perception is Sanya Vipalasa. So Sanya Vipalasa, Sanya perception is Sanya. So if we recognize something, sometimes it is in correct way, sometimes it is not correct way. For example, if we think this is good, but originally it is not really good. Due to our perception, it becomes good. It is present as the desirable object. like this. It become the beautiful something else. But depends on the individual's perception. Their recognition can change. So that is called the Sanya Vipallasa. You know, actually sometimes it is disgusting. But if we think of this is, the very beautiful or desirable due to our perception kept in the mind. So it can change from it is original condition into the individual's mind. So jhana moment of wholesome and unwholesome. So here, the individual with the perversion of the perception refers to the person who is not attain the enlightenment, fully enlightenment, not become the arhat. So wholesome and unwholesome. The jhana arises wholesome and unwholesome. So it is not governed by the object, okay, but it is determined by the temperament. Sometimes the individual's temperament. We will study about the temperaments. Or some people have the temperament of the lust, the attachment or raga, and some people have the anger, and some people have the knowledge. Some people have the saddha or confidence, like this, different temperaments. So due to the person's temperament, the jhana change. The jhana moment is identified. So if one person has the very strong anger temperament, that temperament support to the sanya vipallasa. Sanya vipallasa means this is not subject to, the event is not subject to angry, nothing to be angry, but due to his temperament of the anger, from his point of view, this to be angry, so he get angry. At that time, the jhana of the dosa mula, so associated with aversion, the conscious now take place as the jhana moment, in the jhana moment. For some people, even in the ordinary case, like this, I'm explaining about the Abhidhamma. For some people, those have the temperaments of the sattva. So they rejoice in, or even these types of very subtle moments, the Buddha identify, or Buddha Abhidhamma identify in this way, thinking in this way, due to that temperament lead to the perception. Then the wholesome mind moment is arise in the jhana moment. So wholesome, unwholesome. And sometimes, some people have the nature of the knowledge. So that nature support to the sanya, perception, and that perception govern the wholesome or unwholesome, to be wholesome or unwholesome moment. And sometimes, not because of temperament, sometimes the preference. So people, they have their preference, and if that related to their preference, sometimes it go into the wholesome side, sometimes go into unwholesome side. That is why the jhana moment is determined by the temperament or the preference of experiencer. Experience, I mean the experiencing to the object, not object is governing to the moment of jhana. So the temperament and preference determined. Okay, this is for those who have the perversion of perception, sanya vipallasa. Okay, let's see how it happened. So even at the presence of the extremely desirable object, which is called the adiyata aramana, is especially desirable. And the jhana moment can occur in different, so equanimity, because this object is extremely desirable. Originally, due to the object, there must be joy. The feeling must be joy, but the wholesome and unwholesome jhana accompanied by equanimity can arise. This is how different. So the object cannot govern to the jhana moment. So how happened? Let's see. At the side of the Buddha, the appearance of the Buddha is extremely desirable object. But for those who doubt, who develop doubt in their mind, that this is a Buddha or like this. So the unwholesome jhana of the accompanied by doubt is arising with the extremely desirable object of the Buddha's appearance. And sometimes for some people, they get angry when they see the Buddha. So here, skeptics person of the Titiya, so the other religious people. So they can get angry. Now this is how different the object, the state of the object and the state of the jhana movement. That is why the jhana movement is not governed by the object. Then another case, when the meditative monks see the beautiful woman, so very beautiful woman, this is regarded as the extremely desirable for ordinary things. But for his mind, he developed his concentration and wisdom on that object. So that at that time, the jhana accompanied by knowledge and equanimity may occur. This is not mentioned. The object and jhana movement. By seeing that jhana movement is not governed by the object and is governed by the temperament and preference. So the monks are developing the practice which can keep the equanimity and knowledge in every meditation subject. So when the very beautiful woman comes, the object of the meditative mind is the object and the jhana are not the same and not matched for the ordinary things. Okay, so at the presence of undesirable object also, anicca, aramana, so it is not desirable. The jhana moment can occur in the mood appropriate for desirable. So when we see desirable, when we encounter desirable object, it arises like this. So the jhana moment can arise. Here, for the meditative monks, the monks meditate on the Asubha Bhavana. So when he see the decaying corpse, dead body rotting, when he see, by seeing that, the jhana moment of the knowledge, accompanied by knowledge and joy may occur. So the joy and the decaying corpse not match, but it can possible because the preference of the individual, so experiencer. This is how the jhana moment is determined. Okay, then let's continue to study about the arahat, the jhana moment in the arahat's mind. In the arahat, who has overcome? So who has overcome all the perversions of the perception? Perversion of perception, sanya vipallasa, is no perversion of perception in the arahat's mind because they already overcome. So the function of jhana occurs in accordance with the types of the object. Here, it becomes match again due to the arahat overcome the sanya vipallasa. So let's see with the example when here the arahat experienced the ati-ita aramana, extremely desirable object. So the jhana accompanied by joy can be and also the registration follow. When you experience undesirable equanimity, this is matched with the object. The jhana movement matched with the object, extremely desirable joy, undesirable equanimity. This is how the Abhidhamma Sangaha explained. You can see in page number 172. And Venerable Ledi Sayadaw point out that this correlation between the object and functional jhana, here the jhana movement of the Arahat refers to the functional jhana. So functional jhana does not change due to the perversion of the perception. So sanya vipallasa, because they already, Arahat already overcomes the perversions of the perception and all types of perversion. Then Venerable Ledi Sayadaw point out that this correlation is explained with reference to the natural mood. The natural mood is naturally arising, not always. That it does not apply always. It just natural mood. Sometimes what happens in the Arahat's mind with the appropriate mental determination. So if the Arahat is making any determination, especially making any determination, so it's in there. By seeing the extremely desirable object, like this, the beautiful woman or beautiful presentation, something which is extremely desirable, but the Arahat can determine its mind, his mind to be equanimity, to be in the state of equanimity. That is with the mental determination. It means that it not always follow to the object. Sometimes with the mental determination, the Arahat can change the mental state, what he wished to be, like this. So for the undesirable object, it can be joy. This is the how the Venerable Ledi Sayadaw explained. So the former explanation comes from the Abhidhamma Sangha text itself, and then later the managed. So Arahat, this is how it depends on his determination. The accompanying feeling can change. It means the jhana moment can change due to the Arahat's determination. So because Arahat already overcomes the perversion. For the ordinary person, so the jhana moment follows to the temperament or preference. So we intentionally cannot change for the ordinary person. And for the Arahat, they can intentionally keep their mental state to be equanimity or to be joyful. Although the object can change, object is different, so not matched with their mental state, they can keep. So this is what the difference between Arahat and the others person. So okay, mental process of determining. Dreaming, sorry, we are interested in how happen our mental process in the dreaming. So when it is said that the like seeing in the dream, so I see, but not seeing, not really seeing, but see in the dream, or I hear in the dream, like this. So it is said in Pali, supine newa daytam viya meti. This is the commentary of Jnana Vibhanga explained. So the process arises in this way, as the process of bhavanga, past bhavanga, vibrational bhavanga, rest bhavanga. After that, there are 2 or 3 mind movement of mind dot avatin. So mind dot avatin arise 2 movement or 3 movement. Then the bhavanga again. This is according to the explanation of the commentary of Jnana Vibhanga. Jnana Vibhanga commentary. So this, because it said the Abhyagato Yewa, no wholesome or unwholesome. You see, the Abhyagato Yewa means the only mind dot avatin moments of 2 or 3 times. This is how it's explained. So not any types of Javana movement. That yeah, Abhyagata refers to the resultant and functional. So resultant is vibrational bhavanga and the functional is mind dot avatins 2 or 3 times. This is according to the Jnana Vipanga, but our scholar, the Janaka Bhiwansa and other scholars explain that the process with the Javana also can arise in the dreaming, in the process of dreaming, when it consists of the bodily intimation or vocal intimation. Sometimes the person during the dream, at the time of dreaming, there are the movement of the organs, the body, part of the bodies, and sometimes speaking. That movement and movement of the body and the speaking due to the Javana movement. So we will study what types of materiality are produced by the what types of condition in the chapter 6. So Rupa chapter, there it mentioned that the 2 types of intimation, Vainyati Rupa, are produced by the Javana movement. That is why without the Javana, the movement of bodily movement and vocal intimation or speaking cannot occur. That is why by seeing during the time of dreaming, the part of the body are moving sometimes, and the body, the speaking arise. That is why they are produced by the Javana movement. So the process with the Javana movement also can arise. The process is same as the previous slides. So first going up after mind door, 7 times of bhavanga, sometimes of Javana, sometimes registration, sometimes without registration, in this way. So this is how our mind door cognitive process arises in the dreaming. Okay, so today we study about the process in the mind door. I'm going to stop here, and we will continue to the discussion Q&A session, and the rest explanation will be explained in the next lesson. Okay.
Vandami Bhante. Bhante explained about in the individual with the perversion of perception, sana vipalasa, the Javana moment or wholesome and unwholesome is not governed by object. It can be variable as determined by the individual temperament and preference of the experiencer. Bhante, can we say that the individual temperament and preference are due to our samsaric habit? Thank you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah, as we can see in some instance, the samsara habit, okay, that is very good. So along the samsara, we make the stronger temperaments or the stronger feelings or stronger attitude, strong attitude to support the temperament in the future and to create the preference in the future. So most of them based on the samsara habit. Sometimes, that if we think in that way, due to the samsara habit, the temperament and preference arise. Due to the temperament and preference, the wholesome or unwholesome arise in this way. But sometimes not related to the samsara habit. For example, the wholesome moment that lead to the nibbana, which is out of the samsara. So for that kind of moment, wholesome moment, it cannot be the support of the samsara habit. It can be due to the preference influenced by the want to say the good friends, like the Buddha or the other teachers, the good teacher. So this is out of the samsaric habit. So it arises due to the association with the wise person and learning Dhamma from the wise person. That is out of the samsaric habit. The others, wholesome and unwholesome moments are created by the temperament and the preference based on the samsaric habits. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Bante. There's another question. Will there be karma committed during our dream? Sadhu.
The karma, yeah.
Will
If-
there,
Yes,
yeah.
okay.
Will there be karma committed during our dream?
Yes, it's possible because you know that if the jhana movement arises, the karma arises. So, but the karma, we cannot say all the karma as a full course. You know, in the former previous lesson, we discussed about the full course of karma, and the karma is not completed for the full course. So, but still we can say that these are karma. That is why if the jhana movement arises, the karma will be there. Okay. Okay, let's make aspiration and let's share our merit to all beings. Repeat after me, please. Imina punya kamena.
Imina punya kamena.
Mami bala samagamo.
Me bala samagamo.
Satam samagamo hodu.
Satam samagamo hoto.
Yava nibbana patiya.
Yawa nibbana patiya.
Idami punyam.
Idame punyam.
Asawakaya vahan hodu.
Asawakayam vaham hoto.
Idami punyam.
Idame punyam.
Nibbana sapajayo hodu.
Nibbanasa pachayo hoto.
Mama punya bhagam.
Mama punya bhagam.
Sabha sadanam bhajimi.
Sabha satanam bhajami.
Sabbe.
Te sabbe.
Samam.
Me samam.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Sadhu.
Sadhu,
Sadhu.
sadhu.
Sadhu.